Close your eyes and picture a caveman's dinner. You're probably seeing a guy in a fur gnawing a giant mammoth leg like it's the world's first all you can eat ribeye. Here's the thing, that guy is basically fiction. The all meat caveman is one of the biggest food myths we've got. And the real ancient menu was way weirder, way greener, and honestly kind of relatable. So let's actually read the menu. Start with the truth nobody wants, printed on a protein powder. Most of it was plants. Take the Hadza, a group in Tanzania who still forage today and who the anthropologist Frank Marlowe followed for years. A huge share of their calories comes from tubers, berries, and baobab fruit. They dig roots out of the ground and chew them like a fibrous garden hose, then spit out the stringy part. It is not glamorous. And the fiber is genuinely absurd. The Hadza put away around 100 grams of fiber a day. The average American gets about 15. Their gut bacteria are a thriving rainforest. Ours is more of a parking lot. Here's something else the fur and spear fantasy gets wrong. Who is actually bringing home the food? Among the Hadza, it's largely the women, digging tubers for hours with a stick, while the hotshot hunters strike out for days at a time and come back with nothing. An anthropologist named Kristen Hawkes noticed the grandmothers were some of the hardest workers of all and argued they were the ones quietly keeping everyone fed. The mammoth hunter gets the cave painting. Grandma gets the results. And when you ask foragers why they don't just farm, the answer is amazing. Back in the 60s, the anthropologist Richard Lee asked a man from the Sand People in the Kalahari exactly that. The man said, "Why should we plant when there are so many mongongo nuts in the world?" He had a point. Those nuts gave them a rich, reliable staple, with no farming required. Okay, now for their actual favorite food. It is not meat, it's honey. Honey plus the little bee larvae packed inside the hive. The Hadza will climb 30 feet up a baobab tree and get stung half to death to get it. The original sweet tooth. These people were not counting macros. And they get help finding it from a bird. There is a species called the honey guide that literally leads people to wild bee nests. The Hadza whistle, the bird whistles back, and it flies them straight to the hive, then waits for the leftover wax as payment. A wild animal and a human running a honey business together. Then there's the part everyone skips. Bugs, grubs, termites, beetle larvae. High in protein, high in fat, and they don't run away. Nature's protein bar. And the menu changed constantly. A group like the Hadza eats from hundreds of different plants and animals across a single year. Your grocery store looks gigantic, but most of the planet now survives on a tiny handful of crops, mostly wheat, rice, and corn. The caveman's plate had way more variety than yours. And if you lived near the coast, dinner got even better. At a cave called Pinnacle Point in South Africa, the scientist Curtis Marean found that people were prying shellfish off the rocks around 164,000 years ago, some of the earliest seafood lovers on record. So yes, they did get meat, just not the cut you would order. When ancient humans took down an animal, they did not fight over the lean chicken breast. They went for the fat, the marrow, and the organs, because eating only lean meat can actually hurt you. There's a real condition called rabbit starvation, where too much protein with no fat makes you sick, and can even kill you. The ancient flex was never a six-pack of skinless thighs. It was the fattiest animal in sight. And catching that animal was its own little miracle. Most ancient humans could not outrun a deer, so they outlasted it instead. A scientist named Daniel Lieberman argues we are born endurance runners. We sweat, we cool ourselves down, and we just keep going. Hunters would chase an antelope through the midday heat for hours until the poor animal overheated and simply gave up. The first cardio and the prize was lunch. And nobody ate that lunch alone. When a hunter finally dragged home something big, it got split across the whole camp, because tomorrow he might come back with nothing and need a share of someone else's kill. Now, you cannot exactly save a mammoth for later, the original potluck, powered by pure self-interest. But here is the move that changed everything. They cooked it. A biologist named Richard Wrangham argues that cooking is basically our superpower. Fire breaks food down before you even eat it, so you pull way more calories out of every single bite. Cooked food is how we could grow a giant hungry brain and still get away with a smaller gut. Raw, you would be chewing all day, like a gorilla. And those big brains were hungry for carbs. You are literally built for them. You carry a gene called AMY1, and most people have several copies of it. It loads your spit with an enzyme that starts breaking down starch the second food hits your mouth. Evolution gave you a head start on bread before you even swallow. Speaking of bread, it is older than farming. Archaeologists at a site called Shubaika in Jordan found charred crumbs of flatbread about 14,000 years old, baked by hunter-gatherers thousands of years before anyone planted a single crop. And in Europe, on 30,000-year-old grinding stones, researchers found flour made from wild plants. Ancient sourdough, before sourdough was a personality. So that's us, but maybe you're thinking, fine. But the real brutes, the Neanderthals, they were pure carnivores. They weren't. A scientist named Amanda Henry scraped the hardened plaque off Neanderthal teeth, and trapped inside it, she found the leftovers. Cooked grains, date palm, little bits of plants stuck in their teeth for 50,000 years. The original meat-eating cavemen were, quietly, eating their greens. And it was not all feasting. Some weeks the hunt failed and the good plants ran out, and the whole camp went hungry and lean. Your ancestors were not on a diet. They were just eating reality. So that paleo diet that promises you'll eat like your ancestor. Your ancestor ate roots, berries, bugs, honey, nuts, shellfish, the occasional fatty animal, and yes, actual bread. The real caveman diet was just everything. They were the ultimate omnivores, eating whatever the day put in front of them. You are not built to eat one perfect thing. You are built to eat the whole menu. So next time someone tells you they are eating like a caveman, just ask them one question. Where are the termites? Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this one, give it a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.